Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Boys 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and welcome to a Back to the Future video. Yes, is the jacket a tad overkill? Possibly, but I don't get enough solid reasons to wear this. Could have worn the hat, but there's so many lights in this room, I'm sweating like a bastard. But I am. I mean, check it out. I'm even wearing the shoes. Authenticity is key. Now, I know a bunch of you are going to be doing, what are you doing eating food or reviewing a food product in the middle of the week? It's not Friday. This should be on Fat Friday video. Incorrect. If you look at my playlist, you will see that I have a Back to the Future playlist. Anyone who watches my channel knows that Back to the Future is my favourite movie of all time. It's the greatest movie of all time. Any of you who disagree, just, well, sorry, I know taste is subjective, but you're incorrect. It's been my favourite movie from day one. I have so much Back to the Future merchandise that, you know, it's all in that playlist. It's all in that playlist. This goes in that playlist, which is why I am reviewing this on a Wednesday morning. Now, I know nothing about this. I've deliberately stayed away from, you know, any videos out there on YouTube, and I believe this is a relatively new product. I would say no older than 2 months. It's available exclusively, but don't quote me on that, at B&M. By the way, I'm just trying to think, is there any other food related to Back to the Future I have reviewed in that playlist? I'm guessing 30-year-old 1989 Back to the Future 2 Topps trading card bubblegum doesn't count, because technically, anyone who's tried Topps, you know, trading card American bubblegum, I'm pretty sure that didn't count as food the first time around. Anyone who had to describe the flavour could simply describe it as only one thing: pink flavour. But yeah, I ate that a couple of years ago, 30-year-old bubblegum. So yeah, I guess this isn't the only food video in that playlist, but that's by the way. So I was assuming that these are like an import from America because B&M sells some American cereal. Not such. The box says made in the EU. But here's the thing about B&M. There are 4 nearby to me, but each B&M will receive certain stock that all the other ones, you know, will also receive at separate times from those stores. So don't take it, you know, as a given that I'm off to B&M, assuming that this is nice, it might not be. I'm off to B&M to pick up some Back to the Future breakfast cereal because no, I couldn't find any anywhere. I went to the one at Ashton Gate. This means nothing to most of you. I went to the one in Cleveland. They are both massive, massive B&M stores. Couldn't find it there. And then I went to the one in Weston-super-Mare. Deliberately, all 3 places in the same day. Quite a lot of petrol that day to find this breakfast cereal. See, the funny thing about, don't worry, I'll get to eating it, about breakfast cereal and showing it like this is, it's kind of irrelevant what's in the box. You know, you're not really buying it for the product in the box. You're buying it because you're a massive, massive, massive fan of what stands outside the box. Guilty as charged. I can imagine now, it must have been like bloody murder for parents years and years and years ago when stuff like I remember this, some bloke, there's a video on YouTube when he found a box, tracked a box down 30 years later and ate it. But yeah, like with Star Wars Return of the Jedi breakfast cereal came out, it was no different than any other breakfast cereal, probably more expensive because they knew that people would buy it because it was Star Wars, and you'd all scream at your parents, I want Star Wars C-3PO's breakfast cereal, and your parents would be like, it's no different than all the stuff you got in the cupboard at the moment, but it's got Star Wars on it. This is kind of that, but I can't stay mad at it because it's Back to the Future. So my mate Connor, who lives next door to, not literally next door, lives next door to a B&M, sent me a picture that he had found 2 boxes. He said there was a whole wall of it in there. And so, I mean, actually found. So he said, would I like 2 boxes? I said, yes, please. And he brought them into work, and that was about 2 weeks ago. I have not eaten breakfast cereal since Sour Patch Kids in my Fat Friday series, which is last year. Breakfast is an odd thing for me because I work nights, so my first meal of the day when I come home from a night shift is technically tea or supper. Anyway, that's waffling long enough. Let's have a look at the box. Look, yeah, I got two. I'm not going to open one. I'm never going to open it. Not that it's going to mature or something like that, like wine, and not that it's ever going to be worth anything, because it's not. It's breakfast cereal. It's just staying like that, and it's going on my Back to the Future shelf. I could open it, I know, and take the contents out and reseal it and put it on the shelf, but I would know. I would know. So I have two, so I can try it. So basically, oh, it's sold out. Connor said that it's all completely sold out in the B&M next to his house now. So obviously, you know, what I was just saying then about, you know, it's irrelevant what's in the box. People are buying it for what's on the box. It could literally just be exactly the same as cornflakes, but you're buying it is true because there's a lot of love for this movie, for a breakfast cereal that's simply adorned with it. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because Back to the Future. Yeah, that's insane. Let's have a look at the box. Big fat Back to the Future logo, source of calcium and iron. See, when I was a kid, right, breakfast cereal was breakfast cereal. The only sweet ones were Cocoa Pops and Frosties. That was it. Now your breakfast cereal aisle is basically your dessert aisle. Anyway, so you got the DeLorean there, and it says multigrain chocolate balls, universal, 375 grams. Traffic lights, in case you're interested, really aren't too bad. And so basically, it's chocolate balls. I don't eat enough breakfast cereal to know how many variations or varieties, I should say, there are of chocolate balls. Let's have a look what's in it. Back to the Future. Oh no, let's have a look at the back, because it is not the same picture on both sides of the box. On the back, you have Marty and Doc and the time machine from Back to the Future 2. You know, that's cool. I do like the fact that there is a front and there is a back. Source of calcium and iron, multigrain chocolate balls, but this time it says Amblin, you know, Spielberg's company. Amblin Entertainment. What is in it? Now this, like, I haven't read the side of a cereal box in ages, but wow. Flour, 60% whole grain. Wheat, because you can't obviously trust yourself to police your own allergies and stuff like that, as I talk about in Fat Friday. So yeah, wheat, 41% maize, rice, sugar, glucose syrup, glucose, fructose syrup, fat reduced cocoa powder, 4.2%. Normal cocoa powder, 2.6%, rapeseed oil, tricalcium phosphate, dextrose salt emulsifier, rapeseed leothin, vitamin mix, D to L alpha tocopherol acetate. What? You really need a scientist to explain this to you. L-ascorbic acid, thiamine monotrate. Apologies if I'm butchering these. Here's the important one. Anyone who watches Pete and Pete will know. Riboflavin. What the? Nicotinamide? Pyrodonin? What? Hydrochloride? Chloride? Plecky acid. I can't pronounce these words. I cannot pronounce these words. It's clearly, you can tell. Vitamin D, D-biotin, calcium D, pantothenate, flavorings, iron, and pyrophosphate. I butchered all of those because I swear to God, half of those aren't real words. But they got riboflavin in. That's the only thing we really care about. It means it's good. Allergy advice for allergens, including cereals containing gluten. See ingredients in bold. May also contain milk. Is that because we're going to put milk in it? I mean, even though we can't be trusted to manage our own allergies, that's a tad overkill, I felt. Store in a cool, dry place, blah, 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 blah. Right, so, sorry, Back to the Future. I have to go over it in detail. Let's crack this bad boy open. Carefully. I know I've got two boxes, but there's no need or reason to destroy this one. Right, so, it's chocolate flavoured balls. Excuse me one moment. Let's get a whiff. My God, that smells cocoa-tastic. Wow. That is a very, very strong smell of chocolate. What do they look like? Do you remember as a kid just eating it in front of the cartoons on Saturday morning, not just having it with milk, but just shoving your hand, probably unwashed, into the bowl. Oh, good times. And do you remember, actually, I have washed my hands by the way, actually, when you got shit in the box, actually got stuff in the box. I mean, obviously, what was it? It's not because kids choked, it was because some law was passed that you were bribing kids with treats, you know, to buy something that necessarily wasn't good for them when their parents didn't really want to buy it. Look it up, seriously, it's something stupid like that. That smells absolutely fantastic. I don't normally eat sweet food. That is very strong, very strong. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's gone straight to there. I would say, been a while, it's almost got a dark chocolate quality to it. I wonder if it's going to make the milk go chocolatey. But it's a stronger taste from what I can remember than Cocoa Pops. I've got to stop. I could munch on these dry all day. Right, let's pour ourselves a bowl. My God, like I said, I haven't poured a bowl of cereal in absolutely young, but just what a treat cereal was when you were a kid before you went to school. Does anyone else remember that? What an absolute treat. And also, you know, late at night, you know, before you went to bed, a bowl of cereal. Sometimes cereal with hot milk in the winter. Anyway, unmistakable noise. Oh no, man down, man down. Do you see what I mean? That is, I don't think I would say it's dark chocolate, but it's very dark, you know, consistency and colouring. And like I said, eating it dry was definitely, you know, like strong chocolate. Right, I do have some milk. I bought it when I left this morning. Obviously it's semi-skimmed, because as always I do watch my weight. I wonder if it's going to like do snap, crackle and pop shit. I am aware it's not Rice Krispies, but you know what I mean. Right, let's give it a good dousing of milk. Don't just pour it in. I hate it when people do that. I may not eat cereal very regularly, but you want to get a coating on it. You don't want any dry boys stuck at the top. Well, I can confirm it is absolutely devoid of noise. Oh, disappointing. Right, well, there's only one thing left to do. Let's crack into this bad boy. Also, the most important thing about when you test a new cereal is you got to crack into it. I don't eat it like a pig, but obviously you get the best sort of first taste impression before it goes soggy. Anyway, I'm dying. I haven't had cereal in years, and I'm dying. 2 tears in a bucket. Oh, sorry, I was lost in flavour country and some got away. That tastes fantastic. It's definitely, even with the milk, which I can see is turning chocolatey already, it's very, very strong chocolate. It's not like bitter like dark chocolate, but it is very strong. It's definitely like, it definitely kicks Cocoa Pop's ass, but it's not unpleasant. It's really, really nice. That's lovely. Also, really nice crunchy. You know what? If you've had like Asda's Golden Balls or something like that, or any equivalent of those from like Aldi, or Lidl and stuff, you'll know what the consistency is nice. It's nice, it's nice and crunchy. It's really nice and crunchy, but the flavour is awesome. See, I was worried that they spent all the money on the packaging because I can't work out who makes it on the box unless it's like it's not B&M brand, they don't make anything, but it's exclusive to them, but can't work out who makes it. But sometimes you worry about, like when you're a kid, stuff would spend all the money to have a license on it and then the stuff inside would be shit. But this is really nice, but it's really strong. If you don't like strong chocolate, then you probably won't like this. I personally think this is like, because it's not super sweet is what I would say. It's a strong chocolate, Not quite so much dark, but it's not as sweet as you would think it would be. It's certainly not as sweet as Cocoa Pops. It certainly doesn't have a massive sweet tooth. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's why I like it. Mmm. Basically, excuse me, talking my mouth full, I'm a pig. Basically, this is fantastic. I thoroughly recommend it. I have no idea how much it was because Connor never wanted any money for it because he's a legend. Yeah, I assume it can't be more than £2 a box. It really can't. But yeah, I recommend it. But good luck finding it because it's flying off the shelves apparently. Well, apparently I couldn't find any. Someone else had to get it for me. And when they got it, but then went back later on, it was gone. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you've tried this. Do you agree with me? It's kind of like the back to the C-3PO thing, you know, with Return of the Jedi cereal back in the day, which is ultimately it's pointless. It's just to suck kids in. But I would say that this is clearly aimed at adults because let's be honest, the biggest fan base for Back to the Future is people like myself who you know, saw it upon release in 1985. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.